So today is Sunday morning, and we are password. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, chapter 8, text number 17. Jayo Jayo Sri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda, Jayo Jayo Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So please repeat after me. Jnanata sulabha muktir. Jnanata sulabha muktir. Bhuktir yagyadi punyata. Bhuktir yagyadi punyata. Seyam sadhana sahasraya. Seyam sadhana sahasraya. Hari bhakti sudurlabha. Hari bhakti sudurlabha. Jnanata sulabha muktir. Bhuktir yagyadi punyata. Seyam sadhana sahasraya. Hari bhakti sudurlabha. Please. Jnanata sulabha muktir. Bhuktir yagyadi punyata. Seyam sadhana sahasraya. Hari bhakti sudurlabha. Is that right? Okay. Ladies. Jnanata sulabha muktir. Bhuktir yagyadi punyata. Seyam sadhana sahasraya. Hari bhakti sudurlabha. Jnanata sulabha bhuktir. Bhuktir yagyadi punyata. Seyam sadhana sahasraya. Hari bhakti sudurlabha. Jnanata, by cultivation of knowledge. Sulabha, easily obtainable. Mukti, what means mukti? Deliverance, nice, deliverance. Bhukti, what means bhukti? sense enjoyment. Bhukti, sense enjoyment. Yagya hadi, performance of sacrifices, etc. Punyata, and by performing pious activities. Sa, that. Iyam, this. Sadhana sahasrai, execution of thousands of sacrifices. Hari Bhakti, devotional service. Sudurlabha is very rare. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Okay. Translation of the verse. By cultivating philosophical knowledge, one can understand his spiritual position and thus be liberated. And by performing sacrifices and pious activities, one can achieve sense gratification. In a higher planetary system, one can achieve sense gratification in a higher planetary system. But the devotional service of the Lord is so rare that even by executing hundreds and thousands of such sacrifices, one cannot obtain it. Purport. Prahalad Maharaj instructs, Matirna Krishna Parata Svatova Mito Bipadyeta Griya Vratanam. Srimad Bhagavatam 7:5-30. Naisham matistavad ukramaningrim sprishati anartha pagamo yad artaha mahiya sampadarajo vishekam nishkinchananam navrinitayavat. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 7:5-32. These shlokas are to be discussed. The purport is that one cannot obtain Krishna Bhakti or the devotional service of the Lord by official execution of the Vedic rituals. One has to approach a pure devotee. Narottama Das Thakur sings, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara Payechekeba, who has been elevated without rendering service to a pure Vaishnava. It is the statement of Prahlad Maharaj that unless one is able to accept the dust from the lotus feet of a pure Vaishnava, there is no possibility of achieving the platform of devotional service. That is the secret. The above mentioned Tantra Vachana, quoted from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.136, is our perfect guidance in this connection. Translation again. This is a really important verse. By cultivating philosophical knowledge, one can understand his spiritual position and thus be liberated. And by performing sacrifices and pious activities, one can achieve sense gratification in a higher planetary system. But the devotional service of the Lord is so rare that even by executing hundreds of thousands of such sacrifices, one cannot obtain it. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much to be here today with us. So, this is Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is the compiler of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he was in his old age when he came to Vrindavan, and he was asked to write such biography. This is the most, it's a complete biography of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in the first chapters of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, explain the personalities of the Panchatattva and so, and many Vaishnavas, or who they are and so on. And now we start in this verse, especially the verse before this one, number 16, and this one, number 17. As Prabhupada writes in the purport, he reveals the secret, the reality, the truth of the activities that the soul has to take, to advance, to make a reason. There are many fundamental questions. Why we have to go through so many, as to say, I don't know, now we are in Abentoyer. You know what means Abentoyer? Abentoyer. We are in Abentoyer. You know what means Abentoyer? Abentoyer means adventure. So let's say in a sweet way that we are going to different adventures in life. I don't want to say, bad things. But this is the nature of the material world. And as it is said in this verse, one can get opulence, one can get knowledge. One can get knowledge of everything. One can get benefits. Krishna can give. You ask, and this is one of the main activity that we want. Something for us, something for our well-being, welfare, and so on. We want something for us. And Krishna gives. We pray to God, Krishna gives, Krishna help on that. But still, this is not the sense of life. What is the sense of life? Why? First, we have to understand that we are not this body. But we are a soul, we are Atma, we are the being that we have to be reconnected with the Supreme Reality. This is what we are living, this adventure. It's not real. And whenever we take a step in this reality, we think, oh, now I got something. But then, day after, oh, I need something else. And then we need something else. One more step, one more thing. But then this also, after a few days, not taste, I need something else. No end. No end. And in this purport, Srila Prabhupada very nicely make it clear, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, make it clear that the reality is to get to Krishna Bhakti. And how to do that, to get Krishna Bhakti? You know, I don't remember where it comes from, but let's say we want to have a job. We want to, we want to have a job, and we have to approach the boss. But we cannot go, many times we cannot go straight to the boss. First, we have to approach a secretary, or some places we have to, even the doorkeeper, first we have to approach. If we want to go to the boss, straight to the boss, we cannot go. This is very difficult. It is possible, depend of our pious activities, but very, very difficult. So the only way to get the reality is Krishna Bhakti, as it is said in the verse, is the dust of the lotus feet of a self-realized personality. And in this connection, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentioned two verses, very beautiful verses, from Srimad Bhagavatam, where Prahlad Maharaj is speaking about that. And this is the text, what we read, text number 32. I will read some part, because it's quite long, but to give an idea, what does it mean? We can get material facility, we can get material opulence, and so on, by knowledge, by performing sacrifices. Sacrifice means to make some activities, some endeavor, to create something, welfare, but not for the soul, not for the Atma, not for the self. And this translation of the verse that we read, 32, is said, unless they smear upon the bodies, the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, completely free from material contamination. Persons very much inclined towards materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, who is glorifying for his uncommon activities. Only by becoming Krishna conscious and taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, in this way one can shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. In this way can one be free from material contaminations. And Srila Prabhupada explained very nicely in the purport. Shri Radha Madam Mohane ki, Shri Gornitai ki, Gaur Premanande. So we read a little bit of this purport that is really nice and very much connected to this purport. As Prabhupada said, we should discuss about this. So Prabhupada said, becoming Krishna conscious brings about anartha apagama. What means anartha apagama? The disappearance of all anarthas. Our main problem is to become attached to something. So this Krishna consciousness brings about anartha apagana, the disappearance of all anarthas and miserable condition we have unnecessarily accepted. The material body is the basic principle of these unwanted miserable conditions. The entire Vedic civilization is meant to relieve one from these unwanted miseries. But persons bound by the laws of nature do not know the destination of life, as described in the previous verse. They are conditioned by the three strong moods of material nature. The education that keeps the conditioned soul bound life after life is called materialistic education. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained the materialistic education expands the influence of Maya. Such an education induces the conditioned soul to be increasingly attracted to materialistic life and stray further and further away from liberation from unwanted miseries. One may ask, why highly advanced persons do not take to Krishna consciousness? The reason is explained in this verse. Unless one takes shelter of a bona fide, fully Krishna consciousness spiritual master, there is no chance to understand Krishna. The educators, scholars, and big political leaders, worshipped by millions of people, cannot understand the goal of life and take to Krishna consciousness, for they have not accepted a bona fide spiritual master and the Vedas. Therefore, in the Mundaka Upanishad, it is said, one cannot become self-realized simply by having an academic education, by presenting lectures in an erudite way, or by being an intelligent scientist who discovers many wonderful things. One cannot understand Krishna unless one is graced by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only one who has surrendered, only one who has surrendered to a pure devotee of Krishna and taken the dust of his lotus feet can understand Krishna. First one must understand, first one must understand how to get out of the clutches of Maya. The only means is to become Krishna conscious. And to become Krishna conscious very easily, one must take a shelter of a realized soul, whose only interest is to engage the service of the Supreme Lord, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. I think this is a very interesting point. We read all, it's not so much still. In the Bhagavad Gita 9:13, O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded by great souls are under the protection of the divine natures. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inaccessible. Therefore, to end the unwanted miseries of life, one must become a devotee. One who has unflinching devotional faith in Krishna consistently manifests all good qualities of Krishna and the demigods. Only unto the great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. The Lord is obtained only by one who he himself chooses. To such a person, he manifests his own form. These are Vedic injunctions. One must take shelter of self-realized spiritual master, not a material educated scholar or politician. One must take shelter of an iskinchana, a person engaged in devotional service and free from material contamination. This is the way to return home back to God. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So this is the main point that we want to discuss today. Hare Krishna. The main point is really to understand why we are going through these adventures. Why? Even by becoming Krishna conscious, sometimes we lose this connection. It's not easy. You have to practicing so long time. He said mainly great part of the life. One practice Krishna conscious, sometimes he lose the connection. He lose the connection with the Krishna consciousness if he is not connected through a great personality. We always need a connection. Another example is, if we want electricity, we cannot make like this, electricity come. Maybe now we have this high intelligence that you can do it. I think just by saying one can do, but it doesn't work like that. You have to plug your plug on the connection. To get, you need a support. And one of the main problems also, beside all material things, is ourself, sometimes our mind, our consciousness is going somewhere, but we don't like to go, then we get disturbed. And this is one of the main problems in humanity in our days, is the biggest problem to be. That's why we need someone who help us to understand why. And this philosophy, this Krishna consciousness is the only way. And the only way, as it is stated here, is to approach a pure devotee. And to this connection, now maybe we make it a little easier, I want to speak about today, little bit. What is today? Today is a very special day. You know what is today? Yeah?
Because in Amsterdam, it's going to be celebrated today.
Uh-huh.
I think it's called Chida.
Paniati Chidadai. Today is very, very nice, very auspicious day. It's quite long story, but I will try to make it shorter. Paniati Chidadai Festival. Or Doi. Where do you come from in India?
I'm from central part of India, but my mother lives near the
Jagannath Puri.
Huh? So
Oh, okay, not from Bengala, because today now we speak a little bit about Bengala. This is story come. Paniati is a village on the Ganga, on the river bank in Bengala. It is said that 500 years ago, Bengala was India was very prominent country 500 years ago, much more than now, all around the world. And Paniati was really a special place. One was the biggest port in Bengala. The biggest port, and all the biggest commercial activities in India, they were done in Paniati. And nearby Paniati, there is another village called Saptagram. And from this village come Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami, if you may don't know, is one of the main 6 Goswami. We have a picture on the altar. We have Rupa Sanatana, Bhatta Raghunath, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami come from Saptagram, very near Paniati. And Raghunath Das Goswami was a son of the richest landlord and businessman, even can be called a king of Saptagram, this area. And he was making so much business, it is said, that he was collecting 2 million golden coins every year. 2 million golden coins every year. And Raghunath Das Goswami was the only, how you say, erede, how you say, successor, or how you say, erede in English? Heir? Heir, you say heir? Okay. You understand heir? The only son, and the one who will take over the business, all the money was really. But since he was very young, Raghunath Das Goswami, he would not give any sign of attachment to this opulence, to this wealth. He was completely detached to that. But he became more and more and more attached, 500 years ago. To whom? To Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he wanted to run away from his father, And he tried many times, but the father, he had these guards, and they guards immediately, they ran after him and catch him and brought him back. This was happening many times. So then the Lord Nityananda, himself, once come to Paniati. And then he was coming with all his followers, that making tour, all his followers come to Paniati. And then after some time was making a speech. And then one servant of Lord Nityananda came to Lord Nityananda and said, Raghunath Das Goswami is here. He's offering obeisance to you. And Lord Nityananda said, okay, bring him here. So Raghunath went to Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda put his feet over the head of Raghunath Das Goswami. And then Lord Nityananda jokingly said to Raghunath, you are a thief. Everybody got silent. You are a thief. You stole something from me. And everyone was looking at what's going on. Why he said that? You are a thief because you want to take something from me. You want to go to Lord Chaitanya without asking me. I am the owner of Lord Chaitanya. And you can go only through me to Lord Chaitanya. And this is the way, but already teaching us the way to approach Krishna. Krishna is not easy to approach. We must become really qualified to go straight to Krishna, but very rarely accept someone straight. That's why we have to go to Lord Nityananda. That's why we have to go to the Guru. That's why we have to find a realized soul, If we want to go to Krishna, Vrindavan mood, we cannot go to Krishna like that. First, we have to go through his devotee and Srimati Radharani. That's why we chant Radha Madhavan, Radha Shyama Sundara, Radha Gokulananda. First, devotee, Radharani, Krishna. So Lord Nityananda said, you are a thief. You must make prayaschita. You must, do something to some punishment. You must get a punishment, Lord Nityananda said to Raghunath Das Goswami. And the punishment is, you have to organize a big festival. You invite everyone, you make a big festival, a big prasadam, feast for everyone. Chida is, what is chida? I will translate in English. Flat rice. Chida. Dai? Yogurt. Doi. In Bengal they say doi. Panyati Chida Dai. A festival of flat rice and yogurt. So everyone start to collect. Say, okay, Raghunath Das Goswami, no problem. He had enough opulence. They start to organize all this festival, big festival. Everyone was bringing something, mainly flat rice and yogurt, but not only, all kinds of fruits. These days I was looking some video, and we are discussing with my wife. Here we only get apples, birnen, and bananas, and sometimes these birnen are so hard to eat, so untasty. And what else? I don't know. Now some strawberry, but also the taste, And when you see, in Bengal, in India, the fruits there, and everyone was started bringing, mangoes and jackfruit and I don't know, so many special fruit that, but from the trees, I don't know if you never eat such a mango just from the trees. Experience to eat an orange from the trees, an apple from the tree when it's ripe. Anyway, they start this big festival, and then you must cook for everyone, and they start cooking for everyone, and then they said that many devotees were coming, and not only the followers of the one where they have been Lord Nityananda, all the village heard about, there is a big festival, everyone started to come to this Paniati, and they said there were so many devotees, so many people that they could not stay anymore on the bank of the river. Even someone was standing in the water in the Ganga, to take prasad and so on. And this festival since this time is going on. And now also ISKCON devotee, many devotee organize that festival every year on this day in Panyati. This is the Panyati Dai, Chida Dai festival. So, and this is connected to the point that we are trying to speak today. If you really want to go on to understand this world, we have to approach a pure devotee, a self-realized soul. And thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If someone wants to add some comment or question, or everything is clear, then we can take also prasadam. Yes, please.
So you mentioned that serving to pure devotees or pure Vaishnavas brings faster to Krishna, and the direct approach to Krishna is very difficult unless someone is very pure and divine. So in the material world, I know here it's possible, like in Golokam, Rajesh, or Aswani Vrindavan, but and also when we visit African countries, there are also pure devotees. But because of the material responsibilities, it's not easy to get in touch with them every day. And it's possible like once in a week or twice in a week. But if someone wants every day, then what should we do?
That's good point. That's good. I want to mention, but then it didn't come up. That's good, really good point. Thank you. I wanted to say about. We have Vani, we have Vapu, and we have Vani. What does it mean? Vapu, a physical presence of self-realized personality. Okay? We approach, one point it come to me, like I have many friends, after many years practicing Krishna consciousness. Also, one problem I want to mention. We get a spiritual master, we get initiation, we get in touch with the devotee. But then, after some time, some spiritual master, they have so many disciples, as to say, and sometimes, when we need help, real help, it's difficult to approach, to get in contact with the spiritual master. But that's why we have Vapu and Vani. Vapu is the physical presence, but Vani, what is? The knowledge that is given to us, the Vedas, the literatures. Prabhupada is said when he was present, in the beginning the movement was very fresh, Prabhupada would come to the West, he established the Krishna consciousness movement. Many people came in touch with Prabhupada, but then when Prabhupada left, it went a little bit down, it was not easy for many years to get again, But Prabhupada, that's why he was writing all the time. Why he was writing every night, Prabhupada was sleeping 2 hours, they said it was from 10 to midnight, and then midnight he would wake up and start writing. There's 2-3 hours every night minimum, even a day, and so on. Because he wants to live the Vani, There are many books, Prabhupada Vani, not Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada, but Prabhupada Vani, this knowledge. Of course, for someone it's not easy. We need physical presence. We need to hear. We need to touch. But we have to learn also this secret, as Prabhupada said in this verse. In the Nectar of Devotion is mentioned, that this is really. One practice that many devotees likes to do, I lost, unfortunately, maybe now we start again. When I have some problem, I take Bhagavad Gita and open Bhagavad Gita somewhere. And you will see many times, many times it helps you, really. Like now we were discussing this point, and my wife now she is writing, okay, every day a verse from Bhagavatam. Now I forgot to take with me, unfortunately. She gave me, but I forgot. And this was really a verse from Bhagavatam, from the 6th canto, isn't it? 6th canto. That speak about this connection, that we must have. Mm. Someone, due to pious activities and past life and so on, maybe it's not so difficult. You can just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. But for someone, it's not easy, especially when we are, as you said, many now devotees are living in touch with the reality that are not so much like in temple life. We have to deal with things, material things, that sometimes absorb ourselves in the job we are doing, mental job, counting or managing or whatever, Our mind is not 24-hour on Krishna consciousness, it's in material consciousness, but this is written here, this verse, very nicely. One can get that. But when you go back, reading, chanting together in the family, listening, videos, it helps a lot. That's okay? Hare Krishna. Thank you for asking. Okay? Alles klar? You understand English, huh? Yes? What's your name?
Boris.
Poet?
Boris.
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 Porets.
Boris.
With B. Borets. From Germany, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Madam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
What's your name?